Have you ever wondered why Singapore's infrastructure is so great, and who is the real contributor behind it? Do you really think everyone in Singapore is like us, enjoying all these commercial houses, apartments with swimming pools, and going to shopping malls and restaurants freely under the situation of COVID-19? The answer is no, not actually. Some people in Singapore do not have privilege like us. However, they are who built up this modern city. Who are they? They are migrant workers. They are workers from developing countries in Asia, such as India, Bangladesh, China, Malaysia, and so on. Since mid-April, the government has released two domestic daily figures. The statistics show the stark contrast between the high number of cases in the dorms and the number of cases in the community. In the past few months, people go back to work, cinemas have reopened, and laughter can be heard coming out of restaurants again. But many of Singapore's lowest earners remain indoors, facing uncertainty. According to BBC News, Singapore is home to more than 300 million low-wage foreign workers who mainly work in industries like construction and manufacturing. They commute from their dorms in packed vans to building sites where they work and take breaks, alongside men from other crowded dorms. It is a perfect condition for the virus to spread. With no legal maximum occupancy rules, in pre-COVID time, it was normal for up to 20 men to share a room in a dorm.
Day and night, we are just inside one room. It's actually torturing our mind. It's like jail. We are not asking to be treated like citizens. Just treat us like you would treat a human being, like we are part of the society.
This is said by Vakar Hossain Khan, a migrant worker from southern India, reported by BBC. I am Yu Fu, a grade 10 student from CIS. I took to the streets, interviewed random people who can be seen to representing different races of people in Singapore. I asked them a couple questions about how they think the government treats migrant workers, stereotypes that Singaporeans may have on migrant workers, and what could we citizens do to help migrant workers. Perhaps you know there are a lot of migrant workers in Singapore, like from India, China, and Southeast Asia. Do you think they are treated equally in Singapore?
应该是公平啊。
I think so. 公平的待遇要怎么讲啊？他没有去注意这个问题嘞。
different treatment from Singapore. Yeah. So because they are very different. They have their different culture.
Comparing to their contributions, do you think whether migrant workers should deserve better treatment from the Singapore government?
Yeah, they should deserve better since they are very hardworking and they work very long hours, I guess.
以前还没有这个 COVID 的时候，就觉得其实我们国家对他们是蛮不错，但是因为最近那个 COVID 疫情的发生，结果就发现到你的那些客工居住环境其实不是很理想，就对这方面是稍微有点失望。
Do you think some people in Singapore have stereotypes or prejudice on migrant workers?
I think generally it's a human nature. So it's not just in Singapore, but anywhere you have a similar prejudice.
是的，我觉得新加坡人会对他们会有一些歧视，一定程度上的歧视，但是我觉得不应该，因为我们真的是大量需要他们来帮新加坡的建设。
But yes, definitely there are some persons like stereotype like that. But I can see some of them are like, we can so-called like racist, like, hey, why are you here? So some, especially like, I'm not seeing that some of from China is like saying, make a distance because your virus came to China, something like that.
There have been some migrant workers complaining that segregation dorms are like jails. What do you think of the Singapore government keep migrant workers being segregated in dorms for months? And in the meanwhile, we citizens are almost back to normal life.
Safety of the whole city is more important rather than
for Singapore
我觉得，如果说疫情受到控制的话，是应该把他们陆陆续续就是 gradually 的，就是这样放出来啊。不过我觉得新加坡政府也不是袖手旁观，他们已经尽力而为了。
Since COVID-19 has a huge and negative impact on migrant workers, what do you think we Singapore citizens can do to help migrant workers?
我觉得现在暂时还是除了关心他们也做不了什么。但是我觉得我们新加坡人的心态应该要改变一下，不是说外劳的人就是比我们低还是什么的，但是我们必须要谢谢他们。他们真的对新加坡的建设出了很大的一份的力量。
Yeah, I think they can also contribute to the welfare of the migrant workers. Yeah, donations or whatever the clothing or the general items, whatever they want for the daily needs, it all can be supported.
上次不是有一轮，就是我们这边还会送可乐。
Well, in terms of like maybe it's just more of like how you help each other, like mainly. Like you have the initiative to tell people that hey, you should not do this because we have this kind of virus. So helping each other will make this country bigger also.
A local uncle who didn't want to show his face in front of camera had told me his experience speaking for migrant workers during the difficult times of COVID-19.
有一些人认为说好像对劳工也很好，然后就觉得对本地人也不好，然后有一些人又觉得应该对劳工更好。因为确实他们有一些个别的现象，什么要跳楼啊，什么的。疫情期间，政府对他们那个劳工宿舍公开发表了一些公开的一些说法。这个新加坡作为一个高度发达的国家，对他们的劳工确实存在很多需要改进的地方。住宿条件可以在改进里面，但有一些像一些薪资问题，因为这应该是政府他们给的，我相信应该还是做的。
After interviewing Singapore citizens, I switched to the other point of view and went to discover what migrant workers themselves think about their treatment in Singapore. Where do you come from?
Bangladesh.
India.
Are you living with your family now in Singapore?
Our family is Bangladesh.
Before COVID-19, how often do you go back home on average?
I go back home COVID-19 before 1 year. Still now running school year ready.
Do you think migrant workers are treated equally in Singapore? And if the government has taken good care of migrant workers?
I think everything is okay in Singapore. Your Singapore government, everything support for COVID-19, all everything, very good support, the migrant worker. And should be, we still also they give full support, anything medical support or COVID-19, whatever, anything problem also immediately we call 999 or call our boss also, they give more support. So it's okay Singapore.
Yeah, it's okay also. So government also help us also, it's good.
Yeah. Now the COVID-19, right? That's why government helped a lot. Helped a lot.
But still, do you think some people in Singapore have stereotypes or prejudice against migrant workers?
Yeah, we are the same.
Yeah, Bangladesh has, India also. Others now don't have the Sri Lanka, don't have no much.
What do you think Singapore must, should, or could improve to help migrant workers?
But one thing only I see very difficult for migrant worker is working to go to rest and go to sleep. The dorm, this dorm is space one room, lot of people. This is I see very bad.
This is very bad. You think Singapore government should have
must need to improve. The one room is for how to possible to 10 person, 16 person want to sleep. This is need to improve.
Citizen and peer, 8 hours only works. Others will give extra money, but foreigner come, the Lord of the morning come until night also can do if asked. Then it's better, I think foreigner workers do nicely because Singaporean don't care sometimes.
Since COVID-19 must have a huge impact on migrant workers' lives, what do you think we Singapore citizens can do to help migrant workers?
No eat, I support him.
Like donate?
Donated.
Yeah, more service better, right? Some because here rental very high. The staff also very high. The give pay money then cannot suffer very easily.
Like the things in Singapore really expensive.
Yeah, very expensive. Everything also.
So you think service is actually more important than money itself?
Yeah, right.
Let's watch some clips from CNN News to see how migrant workers actually feel in segregation dorms.
In room, I have enough time to take rest also, to work also. Okay, I am fine, happy.
One by one affected. So I am also something panic. I am scared. If I unlucky, anything happen, right? So my family, how to say, this situation are nobody expecting one. Blame to whom? Nobody blame to anybody. We cannot blame.
Moreover, let's hear from a CIS teacher who have experience in service helping migrant workers for some suggestions and insights about what could we citizens do to help migrant workers in our city.
During circuit breaker, lots of CIS teachers actually, we made a trivia game. And the following week, we would have trivia night virtually. I know they're all Singaporeans, but people who live here who were doing these initiatives for the migrant workers. And so I got in contact with them. And we just sort of said like, maybe $10 a person per game to play the trivia game. Basically in a week we would probably raise like $350 to $400.
Wow, that is actually a lot.
A lot of the migrant workers really like to draw and be artistic. And so getting supplies for them. And these guys are really far from home. Oh, actually the first one we did was top-up cards so they could call home. Because all of these guys are living and they have to sort of live in their own little space as well. In the dorms. They were just saying that they, in their downtime, that they had downtime, they had nothing to do as well. So I sourced it out to a store I know in the United States. Those logic games and like things that just one person can play. There were a few games that like other people could play, like chess boards, but something to, that didn't need battery power or things, and just fun things that they could swap around. Your email to me sort of sparked me to actually do something at Christmas time or something like that. I know that they were asking for people to volunteer to have virtual chats or virtual lessons to teach the workers some everyday English that they could use to communicate. I had sent that to some of my friends who have kids that were finishing high school and maybe couldn't go anywhere for their summer job or something, to reach out for that.
To help, for us, citizens, to help migrant workers, maybe it's more effective and more effective to actually to care about their lives, but not just getting money, because money or food doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, to make their lives better,
to fit their needs. So it's great, but I didn't expect our school to actually have a fundraising for migrant workers, because for us secondary students we have fundraising for elderly, we have for refugees, but not really focused on migrant workers in our own city.
I don't know if you've seen them, but there were a lot of initiatives of companies and individual people trying to help the migrant workers.
Because of COVID-19.
Yeah.
It actually brings people's attention. People
exactly.
Take real actions to support migrant workers in our city. You may go to the webpage of It's Raining Raincoat to donate for migrant workers who need help. And you can also read their stories and take part in voluntary activities. It was an amazing journey for me to explore the kindness of people in Singapore.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck.
I speak English not very high.
Oh, okay.
Easy, give me for easy. For
So let's learn to weaken stereotype on a particular group and take real actions to respect the builders of our city. I hope this documentary has given you awareness of what can we do within our own strengths to support and care migrant workers, because they are same as us. They are part of the society.